Oh, yeah. Woo-hoo! Fired up. Let's get it going. Here we go. Welcome to the QB School Show. We are on the move. Oh, yeah. Studio 2.0. Woo-woo! Let me know how I sound. Hit me with your favorite emoji. You know the drill. We got all sorts of good stuff going on. Boom! I'm fired up. All sorts of good stuff. No ice tonight. Straight Pliny the Elder. Oh, man. It's good stuff. I got to change up my emoji on the cheer, so.
Cheers!
Appreciate y'all hanging out. Good stuff all the way around. Ooh, I know, right, Coach? I tell you what, it's the little things in life, y'all. Little things. Boom. Fired up, though. Got to figure out what I'm going to do with the other screen. But all good. I'm having fun with it. I really am. We got all sorts of good stuff going on. I saw some Fournette stuff already happening over here. Whew. Jaguars tanking for Trevor already. Poor Gardner is in for a long one. Oh, man. All good stuff. All good stuff, man. I don't know about y'all, but it sure feels like it's kind of like football season now. Watched a lot of high school football over the weekend. Didn't watch that college game, but I know there was a college game. Man, the NFL is going to be here in a hot minute. Rick, I didn't watch Arch Manning. Has he played yet? I know he's big time now. I think he's a sophomore, which is crazy that he's that young and that big time already. I don't know anything about him other than the family. Haven't watched him play at all. But I saw some really good football on the TV this weekend, man. ESPN does a great job with those high school games. I couldn't imagine being in high school getting a chance to play on ESPN. I mean, man, different world out there now with that stuff, that's for sure. But shoot, we got NFL coming up here pretty soon. Maybe 2 Thursdays, I want to feel like. Be here before you know it. Hopefully it keeps going. Feels like there's all sorts of good sports going on right now, to be honest with you. NBA playoffs a little bit. They're back now. The Padres in San Diego. If you didn't know about Slam Diego, you do now. We got some good stuff. 13 days away, right? You guys are, yeah, you know it better than I do, the whole countdown. Good stuff. Do me a favor. If you're in here, do this thing. Smash that thing. I appreciate it. Keep this thing going. Denarius, good to see some friendly faces in here. Coach Grays. I don't know if I know Coffee with Coach, but I appreciate it. There's always something. I'm telling y'all. Always something. Cooper, have not seen J.J. McCarthy. I have no idea who that is. Let me know. Yeah, Johnny, I didn't watch any of that college game. I felt like there was something else going on. Maybe I was barbecuing or something. I just missed it. Eric, what's up? Good to see you. Appreciate it. Hopefully y'all got a chance to check out the, what video came out today? Cover Zero Part 2. I love a good Cover Zero. Man, that play was amazing. That dude from SMU, I don't know anything about him. But that one play, I don't know how I got to watching that game. But that play, I watched it a bunch. Chase, excellent question about how the new course is coming along. The new course is coming along slowly. It's a little frustrating, actually, on a number of different levels. But I'm excited about it. I'm about a third of the way through it. Was supposed to film part of it today, and it just didn't happen. One of those days where just things keep coming up. And frustrating on a number of different levels, on a number of different fronts. But, you know, the other thing that's tough, and I'm not going to make this like a what would it be like, counseling for quarterbacks, but it's like the homeschool thing is no joke, man. They're doing a better job this year, no doubt about it, but it's still, it puts a cramp in the day as far as the expectations for what you get done just because of other people's priorities, such as life. So all that, I'm fired up. I am excited about the course. I'm really excited about the course. It's longer than I want it to be, but if I could make it shorter, I'd make it shorter. Previously, Greg. All right. Appreciate it. Thank you, Coffee with Coach. I've been deep into sweet irony. I don't know. I go through phases of like, do I watch TV at night? Do I not watch TV at night? Do I read? Whatever. I've been watching the Jerry Seinfeld show. I don't even know what it's called, but the Coffee with Coaches reminded me of it. Like comedians in cars getting coffee. And I'm dating myself by saying that I like Jerry Seinfeld and the Seinfeld stuff. But man, that show was funny. That show was funny. I went on a deep dive. Haven't gone on that deep of a dive since Hot Things or Wild Things, whatever the hot wing eating show is that I used to watch all the time on YouTube. My goodness. All right, Rusty. Oh, Rusty, this is a perfect question right out the gate. Oh, man. Dude, if I knock over this beer, I'm telling you, this thing is over in a heartbeat. Rusty, what would be your advice for a first-year coach? Now, that is a good question because feels like a lifetime ago, but pre-COVID, I was a first-year coach, essentially last year. And I don't know if my advice would be that much different from any coach. I think, depending on what your role is, if you're a first-time head coach, you probably have a little bit different advice. But I would always just try to have your kind of North Star, your guiding light to understand why you're doing this. If you're can center yourself and you're coaching, you're educating on the fact that you are hopefully trying to provide a great experience for the students, I think everything else kind of takes care of itself. I think you can go sideways really quickly, and I'm no better than anybody else in that regard as far as things don't go your way. Some injuries happen, some games don't go your way, some interactions with parents, administrators, community members, whatever, something happens. And I think as long as you can keep that guiding light as far as trying to create a great experience for your students and your players, I think you're going to probably have a pretty good opportunity to be successful. If you're fortunate enough to be around a lot of other good coaches, that certainly helps elevate the experience for both yourself and the program. But for me, that's kind of how I try to stay kind of centered in the process of what can be some elements of craziness, but no real like advice as far as like run this, run that. Just, don't overthink it. Get it to your best player and get your best players out there and try to have fun with it. Hopefully that didn't suck as an answer. Johnny M, you're only a first-year student coach, really? You got some online information coming your way. I feel like you're in every one of these chats I see. Get the Coach Mackey chats going too. OG Whitfield. Oh, we got some people checking in all over the world. Appreciate it. Chase. All right, what we got? When you talk about half slide protection, you say the slide starts with the first uncovered lineman. How do you know what side to look at first, since there can be more than one uncovered lineman? That's an excellent question. I just assumed, that's obviously my fault for assuming anything. The uncovered lineman is the side of the back. So it can be a little confusing if it's in the pistol, but whatever side the back goes to, the slide usually starts with the first uncovered lineman, and it usually goes from, am I saying this right? I'm probably not saying this right, so I want to hedge that by saying I think of it as from the inside out. I don't know if that's true or not. So if the center's covered, if the center's uncovered, that might not be true. Well, the tackle can be uncovered, and he's going to kick out to a 9 or a 5. It's really the side of I guess it'd be the center. So if the center's uncovered, we're going to go to the next one. If the guard's uncovered, the slide's going to start there. And so it's very rarely would the slide ever be a full slide with the tackle. To me, I just think of it as the guard center to the side of the back starting the slide. So if the center's uncovered, it's going to be a 3-man slide. If the guard is uncovered, it's going to be a 4-person slide most often. And so I always hedge myself by saying never and always, but most often that's how I think of it, if that makes sense. I feel like I did not do a good job explaining that at all, and I apologize. Let's just say side of the back, first uncovered, center, yes, no, guard, yes, no. Usually how it works. Oh man, Reptile, what up? Jumping up. Appreciate you. Very cool. I do appreciate the support for the channel. It means a lot to me. Hopefully that made sense, Chase. Reptile, I appreciate the continued support, homie. Hey. Oh, man. Bill. What's up, Bill? Welcome. Just fan your a couple hours ago. You're in it. Oh, man. You don't have to sir me by any means. Very cool, though. Just out of curiosity, Bill, how did you find the channel? Because I'm always somewhat curious with this. This is it's one of those things for me where we're in that time of year, the busiest, at least. So I'm going into season 3, but really this will be the second full season I'm doing this. And by far the busiest time for me was the first week of the season and the last week of the playoffs. And so I'm always fascinated at how people found the channel. So Bill, let me know. Coach Grays, let me see what you got. What are your top 3 to 5 raw traits or talents to become a successful quarterback? I don't even know if I have 3 or 5. I'll be honest with you. The one thing that I look at, maybe 2 things. The 2 things I look at probably more than anything else is just pure arm speed. So do you have the ability to throw it hard enough? Like there's nothing I can do, not nothing. Very little, excuse me, very little I can do to get someone to have the arm speed if they don't have the arm speed. Like we can obviously increase your torque, increase your core strength, all those things, but you can either throw it or you can't throw it. Now I'm not saying it's a disqualifier, but as far as if I'm looking for it, raw trait, pure ability to generate arm speed would be the number one thing. I think the second thing there would be for some sort of natural base. And what I mean by that is someone who plays with some knee bend and not like a, I don't like saying like stiff, because I think you can be taught to play with base, but the ability to play with your knees bent and be fluid and smooth and be a natural thrower, I don't necessarily care what it looks like, is not as long as it's not like a full-on Tebow, kick down below the hip. But I'm looking for a smooth, repeatable stroke from the upper body mechanics would be the 2 things I'm looking for. And then obviously I would love for this person to be highly intelligent, would love for this person to love football, would love for this person to be a good person, high integrity. But like, as far as like, I don't care if the person's 5'6" or 6'5", it doesn't, that part of it to me never mattered. That's probably me being a shorter guy from league standards to be able to say that. But arm speed, knee bend, general kind of intelligence, love ball, those things are the things that I'm thinking about. Hey, Ryan checking in. Appreciate it. There were some other good questions that I saw in there that I didn't get a chance to see. What is it? Was Dan in the house? Appreciate it. Woo. Woo. What was it, Denarius? What's your opinion of the ineligible? Oh, dang, did I lose it? Denarius, whatever that question was, it went off my screen. I apologize. I gotta watch Tombstone. Did y'all watch Yellowstone? I've been trying to get into Yellowstone. For some reason I can't get it on the TV, but I don't know why Tombstone reminded me of Yellowstone. Reptile. Eric, Tua's drops are pretty strong. I haven't watched anything so far in preseason or anything, or not preseason, but like practice or anything. But I've always thought Tua's footwork was pretty locked in. Reptile, during the NFL season, on average, is the offense consistently adding plays, wrinkles week to week? How many roughly examples? Yes. I'm looking for my playbooks. I don't know if I have like, I would say, geez, depending on the system, I would be comfortable saying, well, it's not like new plays. It's always like how they fit together. So most offenses have the ability to morph concepts together so that they don't necessarily, it's not a new play. It's, hey, we've never run these two things together. Let's do these two things together. Or we've never blocked it just like this because we've never faced this front. Let's arc instead of, down and stuff like that, where it's not new. It's a bunch of new wrinkles. And that happens all the time in many concepts. I mean, I've been in offenses that carry 200 plus pass plays, and I would say half of them are new every single week. And that's just the norm, but it's not like new plays that you've never seen before. It's very centric to like, yes, I'm familiar with this concept. I'm familiar with that concept. Let's put these together. We've never done that before. What's the read? What are we looking for? Why are we doing that? And so that's more the idea as far as the game plan tinkering. But some coaches are more comfortable with that. Some coaches just want to do what they do and are more interested in like, let's do it out of a different formation or a different motion or a different shift. Some coaches want to do all of that. I don't necessarily think it matters, to be honest with you. I like putting in new stuff. I like having fun with it. I like the players to have fun with it. I like the players to try to come up with their own plays. We're not a huge shift motion team just because we're trying to go fast. But if you are a huddle team, you can easily do stuff like that personnel-wise. Oh, we got some rockets in the house. Oh, man. Johnny M, the hardest defense I faced. Are you talking about a team or are you talking about a specific look? Because I was never a fan of someone who loved like the Amoeba stuff where like everyone's walking around. One guy walking around, fine. We used to call him like a spinner. But like when multiple people are walking around and I can't tell who's the defensive lineman, I don't like that. That was always muddy for me. All the new faces in here, I appreciate it. Do me a favor. Boo! Crush that. We got Lebowski time coming pretty soon, y'all. We're going for, Thanksgiving? White Russian season starts. Pretty excited about that. Oh, look at the red logo. Ace Spellman. So excited about the different colored logos. Someone might be coming into... Not sure what the next one is. Maybe yellow? Gold? I don't know. But just for fun, y'all. I tell you what. I hope that you guys enjoy this as much as I enjoy this. I'm sure you don't because you don't care, which is fine. But this, to me, I'm so excited about. It works. Smooth. Little slide. Get a little movement, give a little depth to the studio. I mean, does it get better than this? Seriously. Oh no, it didn't work. Dang it. I got to change over my GIFs to the new screen. Boom. It's not always perfect, that's for sure. Oh, come on, real trucking, bro. You think Trubisky's going to start over Foles? Come on, man. Carr, Mariota. I mean, I will be shocked if Mariota isn't starting by the end of the year. Not shocked. I'll be mildly surprised. I don't really care, to be honest with you, one way or the other. I just think that who's the guy who's the personnel guy over there at the Raiders? I can see his face. The old ESPN personality. He's on record for loving Mariota. Dark Fire, I appreciate that.
Bruh. Bruh.
We're trying to be on the up over here, I'm telling you. My favorite emoji. It's this way. Did I miss it? Yeah, I missed it. No, this way. Everything's turned around over here. I've turned everything around for this course, and I still haven't quite adapted to my coming across as a pure clown. Oh! Super chat. Love it. What do we got? Have not come to a live stream in a while. Here are my dudes. Do you see the Amoeba defense coming more in vogue in the NFL in a few years? Do you not feel like it's in vogue at all? I feel like it's kind of had like a flash I think that there's a time and place for it. I really think that it's more fits certain personality types to what they're trying to do on defense. But just from a quarterback, playing someone who likes to, I'm pretty notorious on this channel for talking about probably the same things over and over that y'all hear me talk about: anticipation, pattern recognition. Well, the Amoeba stuff, it's almost impossible to get pattern recognition as long as you just, I think the thing that helped me with the Amoeba stuff was that you really, anytime you get that walk around stuff, very rarely do they bring like 7 or 8 guys. It's more, you just can't tell who's coming or where they're coming from. They don't really overload you. But really, you're living on the edge. And when you're living on the edge, it's fine when you're watching it on TV. But when you're the dude in the pocket, it's not that great to be living on the edge. I don't want to live on the edge and not tell where the hell I'm hot from or what side I'm hot from or where they're, we can't even get a point or mic declaration. And so for me, I like to be comfortable. And when I'm uncomfortable as far as where we're going in the pass pro, it's not a good feeling. And so for me, I think the Amoeba thing will always have a place. It's just hard. Can you live in that? No. But can you dial it up on meaningful third downs? Can you get exotic in third downs in the red zone? Yeah, absolutely. Turn my phone over. Appreciate it. That was a good one. Oh, Dan. Alex or Dwayne? I'm pulling for Alex Smith. I think everybody's pulling for Alex. Alex is a good dude. We competed against each other. He's a San Diego guy. I think it's Dwayne Haskins. So, even if Alex is totally healthy, but that's just me. Johnny M. I could do a breakdown on the Amoeba. The thing about the breakdowns of the Amoeba is someone's got to tell me what snap. Give me like 5 snaps of Amoeba examples. I'm not going to just like watch every game ever played to try to find some Amoeba snaps. That's the thing about some of those video requests. I'm all for it. I will do one. But if you give me like 5 examples of good Amoeba defenses, it's a lot easier for me than just watching a bunch of games trying to find those good snaps, if that makes sense. Not that I want you to like do my job for me, but a little nudge or help would be beneficial. 2010. Yeah. No, that's on the red. I can find that. But still, it's a full game. Iowa does it too? I like watching Iowa. Where did the quarterback from Iowa, what was his name? Stanley? Where did he end up? I liked him. Obama robot voice. Sorry if you've already answered. Thoughts on Mike McCarthy and Dak this year? I honestly, I don't know if I have thoughts. My thoughts are that I'm a big fan of Mike. I think that Dallas has got a lot of pieces to be successful. I would be surprised if they're not, above average. I don't know if that's the answer that you want, but like, it's me being honest. Opinion on the Bengals over under being 5. I would probably take the under, but that's just me. Maybe Joe Burrow just keeps being Joe Burrow and says the hell with the NFL. He doesn't care. You don't care? That dude, I'm still recovering from the season that guy had. I hope y'all know how special that thing was. I mean, LSU, going back and watching LSU a handful of times, yeah, they kept it simple, but man, they had some dudes and that dude was on fire. Goodness gracious, so many different levels. I'm still getting used to it. I still get like mildly giddy. Let's see. Joe, what up? Courtesy of Joe. Appreciate. Pliny. Joe, the hat is in a box ready to be shipped. I will get it. I promise. I apologize. Coach Grays, let me see what you got. In your opinion, who currently has the toughest defense in the NFL for a quarterback to handle? My initial reaction would probably be the Patriots, just because I wouldn't want to face that secondary. But I would probably also say the Niners with the defensive front. I mean, I don't know. It's funny, when you're out of the preparation game, like, I don't really know the personnels like I feel like I used to. Like, I used to know every person in the NFC North. Like, I'm obviously dating myself, but like now it's just like, I know they're good. I know they're good. I know probably know a coach over there. I don't know a coach over there. It's not quite the same as far as like me being able to say like, yeah, I would definitely want to face this defense, or I would definitely want to face that defense. I know I would not want to face the 49ers front. I know I would not want to face the back end of the Patriots. And so whatever that looks like. Rusty. Spellman. We're definitely answering that one. More of a dumpster fire, Cleveland or Cincy? It's always both, bro. Don't think it has to be one or the other. It's always and both. You can't get me to collapse there. Honestly, I would probably say Cincinnati is more of a dumpster fire, but that's just because I have a personal bias probably towards Cincy. But man, Cleveland looks rough too. Just full on. I wish I could do like 4 of these dumpster fires around here. That's a great question. Willie B, this is Pliny the Elder, courtesy of Joe. Oh, man, it's so good. It's so good. Little Russian River. Right? The both never gets old. Bruh. Bruh. Every once in a while, I will say this bruh in my head with the like, bruh. 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 Yeah, it's full on Ohio hate. I actually like Ohio. I got a bunch of friends that live in Ohio. There's a number of really nice places in Ohio. Just the franchises of football, professional football, are not great. And it's shocking because the Buckeyes are like a whole different entity. I mean, it's cool up there. Neil. Does that say Neil? 2 E's? Yeah. How hot of a seat do you think Baker is on this year? I don't think Baker's on that hot of a seat, to be honest with you. Maybe I'm just missing it, but new head coach last year that just kind of imploded. The whole situation imploded. I mean, if it obviously goes into full dumpster fire, he might be on a bit of a hot seat, but I'm a big fan. I actually really like Baker Mayfield. A lot of him, probably more than most people, and more than most people in like the quarterback space. I think he's extremely accurate. I think if he gets the opportunity to be protected and feel sound and feel like he can get the ball out of his hands, I think he's got the opportunity to be pretty good. I just still feel like that organization, similar to the Bengals, is just like, no matter how good I think Burrow is or was, same way that I think of Baker, same way that I thought of like Carson Palmer, like that organization, you know, longitudinally has been so poor that it's hard to think that like one new coach or one new player or one new big name is going to make a difference. And that's just me. I mean, that's how I view pro sports across the board. I think, you know, there is an element that that if you're not used to seeing it from the inside, you don't realize how much the owner impacts the entire organization. So that's just me. Oh, yeah. Boo! Yo, Maisha. Thank you very much. Let's see what we got here. Last season, what NFL team had the best quarterback wide receiver chemistry? You know I love wide receivers. You better. Yes. Jeez, that's a good question. I feel like we're in like the a golden age of quarterbacks wide receiver chemistry. I think Matt Ryan, Julio Jones for the longest time have been like the slow and steady. I think DeAndre Hopkins, Deshaun Watson is another one that jumps to my mind. You know, there Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes. There's just so many good young players. I mean, I think that the NFL it's really crazy. I mean, you look across all the professional sport, the landscape of professional sports. Maybe it's because San Diego's playing at a high level right now in baseball, but I feel like baseball's got a lot of young talent. I feel like the NBA is a little bit older, you know, as far as like some of their stars are a little bit towards the tail end of their career, but I think the NFL has got just some young talent across the board and really stacked at the quarterback position, but even at the wide receiver position, there are so many players that are playing at a really high level that weren't necessarily like guaranteed home runs. I think of Devontae Adams in Green Bay. There's just guys that get an opportunity and thrive, and it sure helps to thrive if you've got a great quarterback. That obviously goes a long way. But is it always? I always used to think as a quarterback, because I've been in the huddle before, where you're like, you look around and you're like, none of these cats are getting open. Like, I'm throwing checkdowns. Or I've been in a huddle where I've been like, that's Calvin Johnson. I'm going to throw the ball to him. I don't care what the coverage is. I'm throwing it 12 feet high, and my coach told me to. And so stuff like that, where you're like, it's a little bit easier. And so I think it is a combination of both. I think it sure helps to be a quarterback, to have someone who can create space, get open, that you trust to do the right thing. But at the end of the day, especially at the league level, like, those guys are such freaks, such athletic, just anomalies, that they to have someone that can consistently get open is just such a blessing on so many different levels. And to have someone that you trust that can also get open is a whole different level. Like, I always think of my time in Cincinnati was short 1 year, but Ocho Cinco was a guy who could get open. He could get open no matter what. Now, he might be supposed to run a post, and he's wide ass open running an out route, doing like jumping jacks, but like, you can't necessarily anticipate, but he's going to win. He's going to get open. So are you mad at him for getting open, running the wrong route? Or do you just throw him the ball and realize you can't necessarily trust him to be where he's supposed to be, when he's supposed to be there all the time? And so for me, I would probably have someone that would rather get open, and I knew that, as opposed to someone I trusted to do what they're supposed to do all the time that couldn't get open. And so I don't know if that necessarily answered the question. I feel like there are just so many good, young, talented quarterbacks and wide receivers that if you're fortunate enough to be in the same spot where you get one of these like really special wide receivers, special quarterbacks, and they link together, it's got the opportunity to be really special for a really long time. And so I'm fascinated to see what Hopkins does in Arizona. I think I'm a big fan of Kyler Murray too, so it'll be kind of test that if it's the wide receiver or the quarterback as far as it comes to that. But I love me some wide receivers too, especially yours. Rusty. And I hope you guys don't think that y'all don't think that I'm like picking certain people to answer questions. I really just, and almost like whenever I look at the screen to get a question, whoever's the bottom question usually gets my attention. Rusty, which do you prefer as a coach, gap run plays or run plays? I'm assuming you mean zone run plays. So this is a great question. Gap or zone run plays? This is probably not the answer that most O-line gurus would say. And, I do enjoy me some O-line Twitter, so I apologize if this isn't the correct answer. But really, to me, it depends on the system. It depends on what our strengths are this year. It depends on what we have up front as far as people being able to move people off the line of scrimmage. If we've got some people that can move people off the line of scrimmage, as far as we can really create some double teams and create some separation and get across that line of scrimmage, get on their side of the ball. I love running gap stuff. I would say, as a quote-unquote spread team, we're probably a little bit more of an inside zone, wide zone team last year. I think it's up to our personnel as far as what we evolve into this year. But I honestly don't have a preference. Our system has the capacity to manipulate what we want to do RPO wise as far as what level we're reading. We can do gap stuff. We can do zone stuff. It's more about what I trust the offensive line to be able to move their people. So if I trust them to be able to get the edge to work the combinations and zone stuff, we'll be there. If not, I would probably prefer to be in a double team world, but it doesn't always necessarily work that way as far as the gap stuff with the horizontal double teams when you're a spread team. And so, it just kind of depends on what we have, what we're working with, who we're working against. If there's a certain person I don't necessarily want to run at, that also plays an impact on it. I know that hedges the answer, but we really carry all those runs. And so just being able to kind of fit exactly what we want to do that week. Woo! have no idea how to pronounce your name, but I appreciate super chat. Are the Patriots a playoff team? Yes. Mark it down. Today's the day. I've been on the front of the Cam Newton train for a while, and so I'll take that all the time, every day. That was an easy one. I need more questions like that. If you all come back, you better come back at me in like 6 months and be like, yo, bro, they're 4-12 or whatever. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
What time we got here? Oh, man. I got a birthday party I got to go to tonight. Oh, Michael. That's an excellent question. Let's talk about this for a hot minute. How is scat protection different than slide protection? Okay, so to me, scat protection, and this is dependent on what system you're in, but let's just assume you're talking about West Coast world or digit world. Scat protection to me is solid protection. What I mean by that is that the line, and let's just assume we're playing against a 4 defensive line front, they are going to the middle linebacker. So they're going to block the 4 defensive linemen and the Mike linebacker, the middle of the 3 linebacker types. In a slide protection, the offensive line is going to block the 4 defensive linemen and one of the outside linebacker types. They're going to slide to one side of the defense. So that's really the major difference. Now you can get into the back difference as far as where the back is doing changes also. But as far as just a baseline understanding, I think of scat protection as what I call a solid protection. The line is blocking the 4 down in the mic. I think of slide protection as just that slide protection where sliding to one of the outside linebackers. Hope that helps. It's probably not a universal understanding, but that would get you like 98% of NFL pass protection. Miles, what's going on? Ba-boom. Bro, we're on fire in here tonight. I'm going to just have to keep the live going for a while. What do we got here? How good do you think Deshaun Watson is going to be this season? Can you do a breakdown on him, please? I think I've done a handful of Deshaun Watson. Absolutely can do another one, no problem. I'm a big fan of Deshaun Watson. I'm not a huge fan of what's the head coach's name? Why can't I think of it? Bill O'Brien. He just I don't know. It's just my own issues more than anything else. But Deshaun Watson, been doing it at the highest level for a really long time. You know, I'm not sure that they have the pieces to necessarily be like a Super Bowl caliber team, but it's not because of the quarterback play. Yeah, it really isn't. And so do I think he's got the ability to be a superstar? Absolutely. I think he's on that trend, but I'm just not, does he have Andy Reid calling plays? Does he have that perimeter around him? No. But, would I wish he was my quarterback if I was a fan of an NFL team? Absolutely. Big time. I don't know if the Texans will make the playoffs. When you talked about like the divisional breakdowns of who's making it, what the wild card is, I really don't think about it that much. Besides for do I think the Patriots will? Yes. Do I think the Chiefs will? Yes. Do I think the 49ers will? Yes. Everyone else? I don't know. There you go, Joe. He's got some, doesn't he have some New England? I feel like he was in New England for a hot minute. I don't know why. He just rubs me the wrong way. I honestly, I don't know him that at all. It's just like the vibe. If you're a big vibe guy, I guess I am. Man, we got some Bill O'Brien haters in here. I like it. It's like a little fan club. Oh, no. Boom. Whew. We got 89 people hanging out tonight. I appreciate y'all. I really do. It's fun for me. I enjoy the mixing this thing up here. It's going to be fun for me to deal with this situation moving forward. Does it go back? Do I go over here? What's going on? It's a lot of fun for me. But I do appreciate you guys hanging out. I think this thing will ramp up. The plan is to go, what is it? Post Monday Night Football. Might be tough for me a little bit, but we're going to try to do that as the plan as far as the live. And then maybe just throw in some live. Now because I have this setup and it's a lot easier for me to just flip a switch and go live. Maybe do post Thursday night football games too, depending on what my sleep situation looks like and how old I feel. But that honestly is what I'm thinking as far as what we can do with the lives moving forward. But I'm fired up for the football season to start. Just something. And I don't know. It just it feels like it's like slow trickle back to some people normal, some people not, some people whatever. But the football thing would be a nice over here with this crew. So I appreciate it. What else we got? Ooh, yeah. See, I appreciate you guys enjoying the new camera angle. See, Ryan, I knew there was some connection to the Patriots. Chess Piece 58. It's a strong name. Double question. Oh, you had that question up a bunch, actually. Favorite playbook that I played in? I was probably the biggest fan of the Mike Martz stuff, just because I loved the volume of it, and I loved how multiple he was and how aggressive he was. As far as like the simplicity, if I was gonna play every single down, I like the Green Bay stuff, but maybe it was just because I was watching Favre do it, to be honest with you. I like the Mike McCarthy stuff when I was in New Orleans, but it was heavy volume and it was heavy power running stuff, but we had Deuce and at the time. And so I would say the Mike stuff was by far my favorite scheme stuff. If I had to play and had the system and the players around me, it would be the guys I was with in Green Bay when we were pretty good. What was that? 2004, 2005, won the division, had a bunch of guys on the perimeter. It wasn't simple, but it wasn't complicated either. It was like a variation hybrid West Coast stuff, and I enjoyed it. Mike Martz, yeah. He was all over the place. All right, what else we got here? Man, chess piece. Give me like one or two really good questions more, and we'll wrap this thing up. I feel like I've been talking more than normal, but maybe it's just because the beer was bigger, Joe.
Cheers!
Dan, 1031. With what coach would you have loved to play with? Ooh, that's a good question. I think if I had to play and like play my entire career, obviously I would probably prefer to play with Bill Belichick. I don't obviously think it would be easy to do, but if you just want to win and are willing to do what he's asking you to do, that would probably be my premier spot. But if I'm just playing quarterback, as far as operating quarterback and offense, I want to say Sean Payton, to be honest with you. Although I've had like mixed interactions with him and or friends have had with him, like as far as like being a rough around the edges type of cat, but I'm not afraid of that. Like I kind of like that element of it. Doesn't scare me, but like I think I like the stuff that they do in New Orleans. I feel like they've got kind of a secret sauce as far as the system that's hard to replicate in other places. And it really, for a long time, I think people thought it was Drew, but it might be just as much system as it is Drew. And so, you know, it's that part of it's cool for me to see. Ayo. We got some double super chats. Aisha. Our high school team is looking pretty good. I'm pretty excited about it. I will tell you that we are doing a new thing. We're practicing in the evenings in September. So we need new AAU insurance for you to get it. You have to sign a few different documents. It's on the app. Make sure your player checks it out if they are part of our AAU club, which is not mandatory, but I recommend participating in. Let me know if you have questions. Reach out via the app. But I'm pretty excited about our high school team. I get jealous of all these high school teams on ESPN. I'm not going to lie, especially with some friends that, or some digital friends that were playing on ESPN this weekend. It was fun to see and just check them out. I think we're going to be really excited. I wish I could play quarterback on this team. We got some unbelievable wide receivers, talented perimeter players to throw to. So it's going to be fun. It really is. Capea. Am I saying that right? How can you tell if a playbook is good / diversified? I don't know if you can tell via playbook. I think you can tell via coordinator by just the ability, does it have the capacity to adapt in real time? And so what I mean by that is, I think the Patriots are notorious for being able to make halftime adjustments. And it's really not halftime adjustments. It's in between series adjustments. And if your system has the capacity to be that diversified, I think it's a good system. It has all the tools. You don't need to have every tool. You just have to have answers. So if your team if you're getting X, you have to have the capacity to do B. If you're getting Y, you have to have the capacity to do C. If you only have the capacity to do A, that's just not going to work. And so it's the ability to be able to adapt in real time. It's not good enough to be like watching film like, oh, we should have done this. And I've been guilty of that where it's like, hey, would have been nice if someone would have told me we were getting, a slant every other play. But like the ability to not only communicate as a staff, but then have the system to evolve and change and adapt in real time. It's even better in mid-series. I think it's harder in mid-series, especially like for a team like that I'm on or coach at the high school level. We go really fast. It's hard for a defense to adapt mid-series, but they can adapt every other series. And so we have to have the ability to adapt in series. And so that's kind of one of the barometers that I use or thresholds as far as being able to judge a system that is diverse enough to be able to have answers for what a defense does. But at the end of the day, to be honest with you, I'm trying to make sure our system is sound, meaning it has answers versus everything. The rules are sound. It has principles and pillars that our players can rely on, and then give them the tools to go make decisions in real time and play fast. And so that's how I kind of base it. You can obviously have like, do this versus that. Well, what if they're not doing that? They're doing the other thing. And if the other thing you haven't talked about, you don't have a rule for, it doesn't matter how good your system is, your system kind of sucks. And so it's about being able to give them answers, tools, but be able to change and morph and adapt in real time. That's what I'm looking for when I think of a really good, sound, diverse system. So hopefully that helps. What college is QB University? It's UC Davis, bro. Come on now. That's amateur hour. Oh, man. Broken Arrow versus Patrick Henry is the matchup that I want. They got some dudes at Broken Arrow, though. I'm not going to lie. We got some dudes, too, though. So that would be fun, actually. If they want to come out to San Diego, we can make it happen. We're looking for a Week 9 opponent. So let us know. Davis for sure. Ba-boo. All right, y'all. I appreciate you guys all hanging out. It has been a blast. I am fired up for this thing to be a normal part of the show. Thank you very much for hanging out. Good times all the way around. Oh, we got one more super chat. Hold on. Let me go back. How do you look at the fine details when scheming against other opponents? I find it interesting how Bill Belichick does it. How does Bill Belichick do it? That answer to me is I'm going to give you kind of a skewed answer. I'm on probably the far side of being able to be like, we're going to do what we do. They're going to adjust to us, and we're going to be sound, as opposed to necessarily, I think it's a little different in the league level as far as your ability and capacity to prepare and make adjustments in preparation. I think in the high school lower levels, you need to be really sound and give your team answers, knowing that they're probably going to adjust to you defensively, especially for us. We're a spread team, go fast team, chuck it all over the place team that, we might not see what we're going to see on film, what we're going to see on Friday nights. And so there's an element of that. I think it really just depends on the opponent, whether it's, personnel, they got a game wrecker, whether do they have a scheme wrecker, do they have pressure issues and we need to deal with exotics. I try to find out where they spend their time. Do they spend their time in pressure? Do they spend their time in coverage? Do they spend their time adjusting the motion to formations? Are they always lined up sound? Like, where do they spend their time as a defense? What do they value? And if I can tell what they value, we'll try to attack that in certain subtle moves, but we're not going to move away too much from what we are. And what we are is we're trying to go fast. We're trying to be aggressive. We're trying to do what we do offensively. And so, all good. All right, y'all. Appreciate it. Good stuff all the way around. Fired up. And I appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful night. And I will see y'all back same-ish time next week.